Earth Day was started about 50 years ago, I think right now 50 years ago, for three reasons. One is for individual change, one is for community inspired change, and the third is for legislative change. So it's so appropriate that Rathi is running this, and all these American organizations from Western New York are here today, the five. And I just wanted to bring up, I was Latin Club president in high school, so I'm bringing up two stories about antiquity, which is those days, that are relevant to today. One is about like acts and how they can affect. This is somewhat legendary rather than, historically, but there was a thing about Carthage and Rome were fighting, and then Hannibal took his whole army of thousands of people, I think like 30,000, went all the way across and then down over the Alps that were said to be impassable to sack Rome. And and they did sack Rome at a great cost to themselves, but they sacked Rome. And then this is said to be, all right, there was fake news always, not just now, all right, but it was said to be that as a retaliation, Rome came down across in boats and put salt over the top of Africa and Carthage, and that was the start of the Sahara Desert. Something started the Sahara Desert, and it grew and grew and grew. It's grown 10% in 100 years, which is the size of countries. It's like not a small amount. So taking back, bad acts have an effect and good acts have an effect. Planting 250 trees has a long-standing effect. Trees don't grow in isolation. Trees grow and make other trees. So planting 250 trees is an act that doing this community thing and individual by Rathi. And then the second story from antiquity is that, about Sparta and Troy, and they had all the war, the Trojan horse and all that. Okay, well then refugees from from Troy, after the war, they wanted to find a new land, okay, to live in. And they said, the women and the men said, what do we want? We want water. We want a river for fresh water. We want good soil to plant. We want access to international. And so we want to, because they were, fundamentally they're Peloponnesian traders. So they wanted all these three things. So they had all these boats, and they were really great boats people. And they had these boats. So they get to the first place they go to. And the women say, this has everything we need. This has the river, this has the soil, this has everything. And the men said, this is no offense to men, this is just the fact of the story. Okay, the men say, no, we're not going to stop at the first place and stay here forever. We come to a new place, we want to explore all and then stop. The women say, no, how do we know any other place will have all this water and soil and everything perfect that we need for living forever? And so the men said, no, we're leaving tomorrow, that's it. The decision is made, we're leaving. So everyone went to sleep, but the women got up and they burned their boats. And they burned all the boats so that they couldn't leave. And they had to make their home there. And the woman that ran it, her name was Roma. And that was the founding of Rome. The legendary founding of Rome was this woman. But I was thinking about Rathi because my son went all over the United States and he says, I love Buffalo the best. Rathi, she has burned her boats and she has made Buffalo her home. And all of you, I think, have burned your boats and you made Buffalo your home, that this is this. I feel the same way. I am not going anywhere. I'm not counting the days to move to Florida. Woo! This is my home. I have burned my boats and here's this, and so has Rathi. Because when she's running for county legislator, and I hope you'll all help her with that. And it's so important for the county of Erie. And so I was saying, she always says, why does she want, her attributes? And she always puts in there that all of my investments are here. That's one thing she always says. And I think to myself, why is she saying that? People are going to think she's a billionaire and has all these investments and everything. But it's not because of that. She means that she's not making her money to send to India to go back. She's meaning that she has burned her boats and she is here. Yeah. So that's why I asked that this is very important. That what the third part of the reason is for legislation is the reason for Earth Day. It was started actually by congressmen, and as a result of that, in a bipartisan way, after this was done in 76, that after that, then came the Clean Water Act, the Clean Air Act, claim all these things, EPA, with Congress as Democrats and Nixon as a Republican, that led to, because of this idea of individual actions. The two biggest individual actions in my lifetime were when we were little, people threw their garbage out the window all the time, Then they did this advertising campaign One time we were driving in the highway and someone threw all these McDonald's bags. They hit our windshield. We were blinded for a second. That's how much garbage people used to throw out the window. And then they did an advertising campaign, and then people stopped. You don't see it. If someone litters now, a kid acts like you just took someone's kidney while they were sleeping. You know, it's so bad. And then the other, like we turned our water off when we were brushing our teeth. Like, so those individual acts, we always left the water on forever. We thought, we're from Buffalo, we can let water on forever. But we even did it here. So the individual acts. And then Rathi, the third aspect is legislation. And I think if anyone, she will always take the view of what's going to help us for generations to come. And because she's burned her boats, and this is the thing, and because she cares deeply about the earth, and because she always is wanting to join. She didn't want to do this by herself. She reached out to all organizations, and these 5 strong organizations that are here came and stood and went. So I ask everyone to, and I thank these kids for making like I did 50 years ago. And I thank these kids for here, and I thank Rathi for running this. And I also want to introduce, if you don't mind, my friend Steve Meyer, who comes from a family of wonderful people. His father, I still love his father. His father is so nice and kind and smart and brilliant. He's a neurologist. I've worked with him on things. He's just a very loving, smart man. His mother is wonderful, went to McGill. She's like a wonderful person and so activated. So this kid has a great education. Not kid, this is their child. He's a grown man with kids of his own. I meant this child of theirs. He is just in that tradition of service and brains and giving back. And he is running for county clerk, which is an important job. And it's important now because the county clerk has had problems with corruptions and theft of all kinds and stuff like that. So he'll bring a fresh thing and make everyone welcome, and hopefully be a first step on a career for Stephen Myers. So anyway, do you want me to have Stephen Myers come?
Yes,
okay.
please.
So I want to introduce my friend who's running for county clerk, and he's a village trustee of Village of Williamsville.
Awesome.
And he's interested in everything from a traffic crosswalk to the beautiful Williamsville. So I'll let him go. Thank you.
Thank you, Jean.
All right, hey everybody, good morning. It's good to see you all. I mean, this is really great seeing this many people turn out in the community to do something good for our earth, for our community, and for where we live. It's really inspiring. Thank you, Jean, for the introduction. My name is Steve Meyer. I am an elected official in our community. I serve in the Village Board of Trustees in Williamsville. And as Jean mentioned, I'm running for Erie County Clerk this year, a county-wide position that represents all of Erie County. To start, I want to say a tremendous thank you to Seva, to Rathi Ravi, and to all the organizations that are here that make this possible. It's really, truly inspiring, but also to Rathi specifically. I know a lot of you know her. You know, the work that she does in our community is invaluable. And I know that this November, we are going to get her elected to the Erie County Legislature. That's right. But it's not going to happen on accident. We got to get all hands on deck to help Rathi out, because events like this are proof of what she's going to do when she's in office. It's proof. You know, we're going to get more of this, more good things for our community. But for this event, and for why we're here today, you know, this is really important. There's no easy way to say it. The fate of humanity rests on our ability to be good stewards of the planet that we live on. This is our shared home. We only get one chance at this. And I think a lot of people get really discouraged when they think about the ways that they can help to fix that and help be good stewards of our planet, because they see, you know, major corporations and governments